I want to acknowledge, first off, that what I'm about to say, I don't want this to come off as an attack on anyone or to try and justify the things that I've said or done. I just want to share with you my truth and my experience and my feelings about everything that's happened, I guess. But I know there are a lot of rumors and speculation going around, so I do want to speak about my experience, at my job and with certain people. And I guess, I want to put it out there that this isn't really something that I wanted to be sensationalized. I feel like it's a really personal and emotional matter to me, and I never intended for things to end up this way, and I do feel sorry that they have. I guess I'll start with the job part. So, something that was kind of once presented as a dream opportunity, well, it very quickly just turned into a lot of stress and disappointment and disillusionment. And over the past year, I received very little of the support I was promised. I'm sorry if this is all gonna come out as blunt, but this is just my personal experience working, and I know other people have very varied ones. So this isn't meant to be like, oh well, this person is lying, because some people I do believe have had positive experiences, but this is just mine. So the entire environment was filled with constant ongoing delays, and a lot of the communication was very unclear and lacking. And I feel that overall, it was just a very toxic and uncomfortable work culture. When I joined, we were asked to delete all personal and professional social media accounts and to step away from any existing jobs, IRL or otherwise, to commit fully to this new opportunity. And in return, I received what I feel like was minimal support and visibility and promotion to be able to sustain myself throughout the new transition. And because of a lot of unforeseen delays that followed shortly after onboarding, I went nearly 8 months without steady income. The majority of my first paycheck was used to cover required work-related expenses. In July 2024, I raised concerns about inappropriate behavior and misconduct within the company. I will try and clarify a little later what I mean by that. The individual in question had a known history of manipulation and targeting new hires, especially women. Despite this, I was told that no action would be taken due to fear of retaliation. These issues were not new. They had even been brought up long before I had joined, but no meaningful steps were ever taken to address them. I feel like the toll this took on me was severe. My mental health wasn't really in a good place to begin with, and it deteriorated to the point where I could no longer function as I once had. I had to withdraw from multiple voice acting opportunities because I couldn't even get myself to record for anything without just breaking down and crying. And I remember one time sitting in front of my desk during a waiting room 10 minutes, and I was just sitting there trying to calm myself down and, be able to entertain my fans, but I ended up just ending the stream before it even began because I had broken down in tears, and I really just could not get myself to stop crying. It felt like the entire time no one believed me and that I had to stay quiet despite what I was going through. I was told not to speak about this with anyone, not with my coworkers, no one, just to never speak of it or mention it again. I felt like I just couldn't risk showing what was really going on to the world, and because of that, I made a lot of mistakes. Together with some of my coworkers, I pleaded for the situation to be taken seriously. We emphasized that without proper intervention, the consequences would fall on everyone. But nothing had changed. In November 2024, staff were made aware that private conversations had been leaked online. We urged them to respond or prepare for the fallout of everything. Nearly a month passed with no communication nor action until the video was published, and public backlash forced the situation kind of out into the open. I was then instructed to take a break from my work following an announcement of an investigation. Despite this, I never once felt that my concerns were ever meaningfully addressed. Most conversations focused not on resolving the matter, but on managing my exit. I remember the first call we had, for I would say 80% of it, I was explaining VTuber culture and kind of what VTubers were. And for the other 20%, I explained my experience with this person. And, I felt like I didn't have very much time to really delve into everything, and I was told that they would follow up and we'd speak more, and that never happened. Any following conversations pretty much happened because after pushing and pushing for a response on anything, I eventually kind of broke down and said, I want to quit, I want out, and immediately they kind of got back to me, and everything following that was details surrounding my leave and my exit. But to this day, I'm not confident any real investigation ever took place. I know that they were very clear in not admitting fault in any way. And I want to be honest, at one point, there were talks of a settlement, and I personally do not believe that if they truly did nothing wrong, that would have been something that they even considered. But ultimately, it's something that I had decided against, and I want to make it clear that I do have documentation to support my claims, including acknowledgements from the person involved, and I'll talk a bit more about that later. Their behavior has been reported to staff so many times over the years, and it has been well documented and recognized as an issue. On top of this, another coworker had leaked my outfit just 10 minutes after I had privately shared it. Not only did they expose something that I was really excited to be able to reveal to my fans and community, but they also added a lot of very mean and what I believe were manipulative comments to stir up drama, attempt to implicate me. What I feel like should have been a really happy moment was just completely ruined.